Hi my darlings, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Cindy from IELTSwanderer.com. So in my previous video, I talked about the pros and cons of teaching English in South Korea through EPIK, more specifically through SMOE. So in today's video, I wanted to go over the timeline of the entire EPIK application process. So as some of you guys are already aware, I taught in Seoul from 2016 through 2018. But prior to this video, I did double check the process and it seems like not much has changed. Of course, they have new rules for the pandemic, and I'm sure they probably changed, some of the paperwork specifics, but for the most part, it seems like overall the process is still the same. But yeah, so online, you'll find general timelines of the whole process, and usually, it's apply at EPIK and submit your initial documents, and after that, you'll have an EPIK interview, and if you pass, then you'll go on to submit your final documents, and then after that, you would wait for your placement, and then once you get your placement, you would get a visa, and then book your flight, and then head over to Korea and then start this whole adventure. But having gone through the whole process, I wanted to give you guys some dates just so you have a better idea of what to expect and how long everything actually takes. But yeah, so if you do decide that you are going to go down this whole teaching path, one of the first decisions you're going to have to make is whether you want to apply directly through EPIK or go through a recruiter. So the procedure is pretty much the same. It's just that with a recruiter, you kind of have a middleman, someone to guide you through the entire process, someone to help you out. And then I have heard that if you apply through EPIK directly, maybe you get a priority with the placements, but I'm not sure how much of that is actually true. For me personally, I did go with a recruiter. I went through Corvia. It's free of charge, and I figured why not get that extra help, right? And I had a great experience with them. But yeah, so let's dive into the details of the timeline. So because I didn't have a degree in education, the first thing I had to do was get a teaching certificate. So on July 25th, I started my TEFL course, and TEFL stands for Teaching English as a Foreign Language. And on August 26th, I completed my TEFL and got my certificate. And then, shortly after that, I applied on the Corvia website. So on September 1st, Corvia notifies me that they received my online app and they would like to schedule, a day to do a Skype call just so they can get to know me better and, see what would be a good fit. So I did the Skype call on September 3rd with my recruiter, and on September 13th, I had to submit all my initial documents online to Corvia. So that included the EPIK application as well as 2 letters of recommendation. So I went and I digged up a copy of my application just to remind myself what was in there. And it's 8 pages long, and it's the typical questions they would ask in any job application, as well as a medical assessment section, and there is a short essay section, and then you do have to submit a sample lesson plan. But yeah, so I submitted all of that on September 13th, and then on September 14th, Corvia notifies me that the initial docs have been approved by EPIK, and they said that the next step would be to wait for my EPIK interview. So they did warn me that it would take a little a little while before that happens, so I should take this time to get my final documents aligned and get that, sorted out and get that ready. So it actually did take a really long time. So I didn't hear back until October 22nd for my EPIK interview invite. And I was like, thank goodness, because I really thought they had forgotten about me or something. But yeah, so I got the invite. And then on October 28th was the actual interview. And then the very next day, October 29th, I got my results and I passed. But yeah, so then after that, November 2nd, I had to expedite a package to Corvia with all my final documents. So the final documents is a lot of paperwork. You have to submit the hard copies of the initial documents, so the application and the letters of recommendation. And then in addition, you also have to submit a apostilled background check and apostilled copy of your bachelor's degree, 2 university transcripts, a photocopy of your TEFL certificate, a smoking sworn declaration. So it was just some form to say that you wouldn't smoke on school premises, and then special circumstance paperwork. For example, because I was applying for Seoul, I had to submit all these additional paperwork for Seoul. But yeah, so then I sent that off, on November 2nd, and then on November 5th, Corvia notifies me that EPIK is reviewing my documents. So then after that, there was another long wait. I didn't hear back until November 26th, and then Corvia confirms that my final documents have been approved and that EPIK would start recommending me to schools for my placement. So December 30th, I got the news of my placement and I was placed in Seoul. So that was great. And then January 21st, Corvia informs me that my NOA, like notice of appointment, is on its way in the mail along with my final contract. So, once I receive that, I can go ahead and apply for my E2 visa. So they sent that out on the 21st. And then on January 26th, I got my E2 visa. And January 31st, I booked my flight. And on February 20th, I boarded my flight to Seoul, and then that is when everything begins. So the entire process is one of those things where it feels very long, but very short at the same time, if that makes any sense. But yeah, so I hope you guys found this information useful. If you have any questions or need clarification on anything, just let me know in the comments below. And if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up. If you haven't done so already, please hit that subscribe button. I'll be talking more about life in Korea, as well as other travel adventures. So stay tuned, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!